Hi, I'm Millie Leung, ex-corporate girl turned seven-figure entrepreneur. But it wasn't all that long ago that I lacked the self-confidence, money, time, and know-how to start and build my own business. Fast forward past many failed attempts, lessons learned, tears, and hard work, I have built a business that creates both impact and profits. I created Shine to Impact podcast to give you inspirations and simple actionable strategies to help you bring out your gifts and zone of genius so that you can start building a deeply satisfying business, impact the world, and make soulful, abundant money that supports your lifestyle and your spirit. So, if you're someone who's driven and big-hearted and want to create a business and life that you truly love, you are at the right place. There is a diamond within you, and it's time to let it shine and impact the world. I have a free gift for you on my website, Passion to Profit Playbook, The Secrets of Turning Your Passion into an Impactful and Profitable Business, that is available on millieleung.com. Be sure to grab your copy today. Welcome to today's episode. Hello, I'm your host, Millie Leung, international best-selling author of the book Mind and Money Makeover, recipient of the Personal Brand Award by Marketing Institute of Singapore, and the creator of the Shine to Impact podcast. Yes, so today I want to talk about a topic that is so close to my heart, and that is how to stop being a perfectionist. Oh my gosh, I have so much to say about this topic. Where should I even start? Now, ever since I was a kid, I have always been a perfectionist. My mom used to tell me this story about how back when I was in kindergarten in Hong Kong, and that was one day my mom came to pick me up from school as usual, and the teacher called her to go up to the classroom. Now, my mom was getting worried, like, did something happen to me? And am I safe? Did I get in trouble? Did I hurt someone? All of these things went through her head. And when my mom got to the classroom, the teacher sat her down and asked her, "Mrs. Leung, I want to know if Millie doesn't do well in school or get 100% on her dictation, do you or your husband punish her?" My mom was so shocked when the teacher said that. And she said, "Of course not." And that was the truth. My parents never ever punished me if I didn't get good grades. And then my teacher went on to saying, "Okay, that's great to know. You know, today I gave back the dictation from last week to all the students, and when Millie got her results back, she started crying." And my mom was like, "Oh no, what happened? Did she fail? Did she not do well?" The teacher said, "No, Millie did very well. She got 98%. And when the teacher asked the 6-year-old me why I was crying back then, I told my teacher that because I got 100% in my last 2 dictations, and it was really important to me that my third time also got 100%. And because I only got 98%, I was very disappointed at myself and I started crying on the spot." So there, my friends, that's how I was. The perfectionist DNA was deeply rooted. Oh dear. A complete perfectionist even at the tender age of 6 years old. In Chinese, there's a saying that goes, 3 years old determine how you'll be at 80 years old. 3岁定80, right? Meaning that your personality never really changed. How you're like at 3 years old basically determine how you are at 80 years old. So I think for my case, there is definitely some truth to that. Over the years, I struggled with being a perfectionist. I was always trying to be perfect in school, in my corporate job back then, and then in my business. A few years ago, I had this idea that I wanted to publish a book. Now, at the time, I really had no idea what my book could be. Not sure about the topic, not sure what I could share, but I just had this dream that I want to share my message and become a published author. So when it comes time that I have this opportunity to work with a publisher to get my book done, I had a hard time writing it. I mean, there were so many times I would stare at a blank screen at my laptop and have no words that I could type. Blank. Do you know that feeling? So that was like writer's block. It was really frustrating. And after grinding and grinding, dragging and dragging, trying to write my book, 15 months later, I finally got my first draft. And then I sent my first draft to a trusted friend, Sharon, who happens to be a published author in Singapore, and I asked her if she would proofread it for me and let me know what she thinks. Now, I've got to be honest, after my friend Sharon read it, she wasn't impressed. And being a good friend and trusted friend of mine, she told me straight up that I should tweak it and make it better. It wasn't good enough. And now, to be honest, I knew she was right. It wasn't my best work, but I have never been a good writer. In fact, if I can let you in another secret, during my first year of university, I actually almost failed my English writing class. Now, I was an engineering major, so I was good with science and mathematics, but English and writing were really never my strengths. So to come up with the first draft, it was really like trying to pull teeth out. But of course, after hearing Sharon's comment, and at the end, being such a perfectionist, of course, I wouldn't really have let that first draft be the final version and be published and see the light. I actually ended up scrapping the entire first draft that I spent 15 months on and rewrote a new draft altogether from scratch. And as I was writing it, I heard this voice saying that, "Millie, you're just not good enough." Seriously, I heard voices in my head. It was that terrible. And then my second version again took me endless tweaking. I revised it over and over and over and over and over again. It was tiring. At the end, thank God that I did end up publishing that book. And the book was called Mind and Money Makeover: How to Transform Your Life in 3 Years or Less and Live Your Dreams. Some of you might have bought it and read it already. And that book went on to becoming an international best-selling book, sold thousands and thousands of copies, and I've gotten many great testimonials on that book. So if you're interested to get that book, do head over to my website, millieleung.com. So anyway, again, that was me struggling with this perfectionist syndrome. If you're anything like me, tweaking things like 1,000 times before you hit the publish button, or redoing everything every single time, you're definitely not alone. Like I said, I've certainly been very, very guilty of it in the past. Now, these days, although I still struggle with that from time to time, I've gotten much, much better. Realizing that being a perfectionist will flush your productivity down the toilet and kill your dreams. Now, if you dig deeper, being a perfectionist deep down is actually a mindset thinking that you are not good enough. That you have this fear of whatever you do or whatever that you're sharing is not good enough. It is actually a destructive way of thinking about yourself. So next time, if you realize that your perfectionist self is kicking in, make sure that you catch it and don't listen to it. You see, here is a golden rule. Done is infinitely better than perfect but not done. Repeat after me. Done is infinitely better than perfect but not done. Yes. So if you don't get your work or your message out there, all your amazing gifts and knowledge will die in your head or in your laptop and never see the lights of them and never get out to actually impact a single person. So you've got to let go of that perfectionist thinking. But here's the truth. That thinking might still show up from time to time. The key here, though, is don't let it control you. Aim for progression but not perfection. Now, I'm not saying that you should do bad work or half-baked work. Not at all. I believe that everything you should do should be the highest standard that it can be. But what I'm saying is that if you find yourself tweaking your work like 1,000 times, it is definitely unhealthy and it is an enormous waste of time. You should put your work out there, but know that you yourself are always a work in progress. You are always improving. You see, although at the end, when I finally published my book, Mind and Money Makeover, I thought it was awesome. And in fact, many readers wrote to me and said that the book had impacted their lives. So I'm really, really glad that I did get my work out there. I did publish it. But looking back, I feel like that I've grown in the last few years. And if I were to write a second edition, I know it'll be even better than first edition. So you see, your work doesn't have to be once and done. Someday in the future, you can always go back and make it better, or just publish a second edition. But first, you need to get your first version out there to the world. It is all about learning, experimenting, growing, and evolving over time. Learn to take yourself a little less seriously. Besides, have you seen some YouTube videos, podcasts, ebooks, or online courses out there that are less than perfect? Some of that you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, seriously? You put that work out there and you got thousands of views? Or they got this online course out there and charged that much money? Yep. You see, right now, there are people who are way less qualified than you are, making the money and making a huge difference to the lives of others because they're not afraid to put themselves out there. They're not afraid to be judged. They're not afraid to be criticized. And they're not being a perfectionist. They actually got the message out there in the world and are impacting lives. So get over the perfectionist thinking, my dear. I once heard a saying that goes, if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you have launched too late. And that is so true. If you wait until everything is perfect, you never get anything out there. So, from now on, my dear, please focus on progression and not perfection. Stop being a perfectionist, hit that publish button and get your work out there. The world needs to hear your message and your people needs to see your gifts. It is time for you to shine and to impact the world. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so honored that we are connected. And I hope that I can continue to serve you as you build your dreams. Please visit my website, millieleung.com, that is MILLIELEUNG.com, and grab your free gift, Passion to Profit Playbook, Secrets of Turning Your Passion into an Impactful and Profitable Business. If you loved this episode, and I hope that you did, please rate it 5 stars. Give us a glowing review because it will help more women around the world to find this podcast so that we can impact the world one woman at a time. Sending you love and lights, keep shining, and see you at the next episode.